How Coco Gauff's mental game will take her to WTA Finals glory. Jan-Michael Gambill reveals all. The tennis world stands on the brink of another electrifying WTA Finals, and all eyes are locked on one young woman whose fire burns brighter with every tournament she touches. Coco Gauff. From her dazzling U.S. Open triumphs to her fearless consistency on the global stage, Gauff has proven that she's not just playing tennis. She's rewriting what it means to be a modern champion. But what separates Coco Gauff from the rest? What gives her that unmistakable aura of belief, calm, and conviction when the stakes are at their highest? According to tennis analyst and former ADP star Jan-Michael Gambill, it's all in the mind. Coco's mental strength is her greatest weapon. Gambill reveals in an exclusive interview. Her physical game is world-class, no doubt, but what truly sets her apart is how she handles the storm inside her head. She's become a master of focus, poise, and self-belief. That's what's going to take her all the way to WTA Finals glory. And when you watch Coco play, you can feel it, that invisible thread of mental resilience running through every serve, every point, every smile. She's no longer just reacting to pressure. She's commanding it. The evolution of a mental warrior. Coco Gauff's journey hasn't been a fairy tale of effortless dominance. It's been a saga of self-discovery, a story marked by setbacks, criticism, and those quiet nights when doubt crept in. At just 15, she was thrust into the global spotlight after defeating her idol Venus Williams at Wimbledon. The victory was dazzling, but the sudden fame that followed could have crushed a lesser spirit. For Coco, it was a crash course in maturity. Gambill explains, when you reach that level of fame so young, the pressure doesn't come just from opponents. It comes from the world. Every match, every tweet, every photo is magnified. Coco had to learn not just how to hit a ball, but how to carry a nation's expectations on her shoulders. And she did, through moments of frustration, early round losses, questions about her serve, the occasional dip in form. Coco never allowed failure to define her. Instead, she turned every defeat into data, every criticism into fuel. Her secret? Emotional control. She's learned to separate emotion from execution, Gambill says. That's rare. When you see her face on court, you can tell she feels everything, but she doesn't let it control her. That's the sign of a champion. From self-doubt to self-mastery. Mental strength isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. For Coco, that construction began when she realized that the mind could either be her ally or her undoing. During her teenage years, she openly admitted to moments of overthinking. I used to get too caught up in what people thought of me, she once said. I had to learn that I play for myself, not for the noise around me. That transformation became most visible in her 2023 U.S. Open run, when she faced critics who doubted her consistency and questioned her readiness to win big titles. But instead of letting those voices break her, she let them ignite her. Each match was a psychological chess game. Coco kept her body language calm, her eyes sharp, her inner dialogue positive. By the time she lifted the trophy, tears in her eyes and a nation roaring behind her, it was clear she had mastered the art of the mind. After that victory, Gambill notes, she started playing not to prove people wrong, but to prove herself right. That's when you cross into greatness. The Gambill breakdown. Inside Gauff's mental arsenal. Jan-Michael Gambill has long admired Gauff's athleticism, but what fascinates him most is how she thinks during matches. He breaks down her mental approach into 4 key pillars that, he says, could propel her to WTA Finals glory. 1. Calm under fire. Pressure moments, tiebreaks, match points, break chances are where Coco shines. While some players crumble under tension, Coco's pulse seems to slow down. She breathes deeper, moves slower, thinks clearer. She has a built-in reset button. Gambill says, even when she's behind, she treats every point as a fresh start. That's incredibly powerful psychologically. 2. Emotional intelligence. Coco reads emotions, her own and her opponent's. When she senses frustration across the net, she amplifies her consistency, forcing errors. When she feels her own emotions rising, she channels them into energy instead of frustration. She's learning to use emotion like a controlled burn. Gambill adds, that's something you see in legends like Serena and Nadal, and Coco's on that path. 3. mindful confidence. Unlike cockiness, which can blind players, Coco's confidence is mindful, rooted in preparation. She doesn't assume victory. She builds it. Every practice session, every conditioning drill feeds her self-belief. She walks on the court knowing she's done the work, says Gambill. That's where true confidence comes from, not ego, but evidence. 4. Faith and perspective. Perhaps the most defining element of Coco's mindset is her spiritual grounding. She often speaks about playing for something greater than herself. Faith, family, purpose. When your reason is bigger than trophy, pressure becomes smaller, Gambill notes. That's why she can smile even in the toughest moments. She's not chasing validation. She's expressing gratitude, the power of presence. Watch Coco between points, and you'll notice something special. She doesn't rush. She doesn't slump. She walks with rhythm. In previous years, she might have entered the finals as the underdog, talented but still learning. This time, she enters as the mental heavyweight. Her biggest advantage? She's comfortable with discomfort. She doesn't resist the pressure. She welcomes it. Pressure is privilege, she once said. If you feel pressure, it means you've earned the moment. That simple phrase reveals the depth of her mindset, the maturity that belies her age. Gambill's final prediction. So, can Coco Gauff actually go all the way? Jan-Michael Gambill doesn't hesitate. Absolutely. She has all the tools, physically, technically, strategically, but it's her mind that's the X factor. She's got that inner calm that champions are built from. She's learned how to win not just with her game, but with her soul. He pauses, then adds, the way she carries herself, the way she fights for every point. You can tell she's playing not to survive, but to inspire. That's when you know a player is ready for greatness. The champion within. As the WTA Finals approach, Coco Gauff stands at the intersection of destiny and discipline. Her mental game, forged in pressure, polished in faith and proven in victory, is now her most lethal weapon. She's not just chasing trophies anymore. She's defining a new era of emotional intelligence in sports, showing young athletes everywhere that strength doesn't mean being unshakable, but being centered amidst chaos. And when she steps onto the court under the bright lights of Riyadh, she won't just be playing for a title. She'll be playing for every battle she's fought silently, every doubt she's conquered, every dream that once seemed too far away. Because Coco Gauff's mind isn't just strong, it's unstoppable. And if Jan-Michael Gambill is right, if mental mastery truly defines the next generation of champions, then Coco isn't just heading for WTA Finals glory. She's already there. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.